So first thing, if you look up at the projector, you can see everything, right? It looks big, it's easy to read. Now, that's because when I plug into my computer, it sets it at an optimal resolution. This is something that's really, really important when you're doing presentations over Adobe Connect or when you're making recorded videos. When you mess around with resolution, what you're messing with is how many pixels are on your screen. So the higher the resolution, if I right-click and I go to screen resolution here, you can change the resolution. Right now, mine's set at 1280 by 800. In other words, I have 1280 pixels going across and I have 800 pixels going up and down. The higher the resolution, the smaller everything looks on your screen. So if I were to go all the way up here, everything's going to look smaller. So then if I go and do an Adobe Connect recording or Adobe Connect screen share, people aren't going to be able to see what I'm doing. So really what you need to know before you start doing all this is before you start sharing your screen, before you do a video, you should always be around the 1280 by 720 mark, because that looks beautiful on videos. It makes it so when you do a video, everybody can read what's on your screen and see what's going on. Right now, mine's set at 1280 by 800, which is a great resolution. You can see everything on my screen. You can read it. It's just really important because if you're doing an Adobe screen share and your Blu-ray resolution, 1920 by 1080 or something like that, everything's going to look tiny, and people aren't going to be able to see what you're doing. Same with video recordings. If you do a screen recording and you're on this huge resolution, when you take everything that's really small and you squish that down into a video player, people aren't going to see what you're doing. They're not going to be able to see or read. So it basically renders the video kind of useless. So 780 or 1280 by 720, I think I've found is kind of the magic resolution, or somewhat close to it. Okay, next thing, if you don't have one of these bad boys, you may want to look at getting something like this. The mics on our laptops, for the most part, are usually pretty junky. I'm sure you've heard people sound like they're in a wind tunnel, you know, or they got echoes going on. It's because they're using a really bad mic. These are like 13 bucks on Amazon. I mean, they're really cheap. The one I'm not saying get this one, but something like it. Amazon's a beautiful place to buy stuff. This one's called the Microsoft Live Chat. So there's a used one for $4. Okay, something like this, that where it's USB, you can plug it in, it's plug and play, so you plug it in, it'll just work. It's just good to have a mic so when you talk to people, you sound good. You don't sound like you're echoing and that they can't understand what you're saying, because that happens a lot. Or sometimes it sounds like they're outside, maybe they are, I don't know. It's just, but getting some sort of mic, huge thing, and it works very, very well. Okay, so throughout this presentation, we're going to be kind of jumping back and forth. This is my phone screen, so I'm going to kind of show you what Adobe Connect can look like through its app. So if you head over to the Google Play Store, I'm sorry I'm not an Apple guy. This is all going to, ooh, I love that game, by the way. If you haven't played it, you need to check it out. It's great stuff. So if I do a search for Adobe Connect, they do have their own app. This isn't really for us. This would be more for students. Like, look, if you're on the run, if you don't have a computer, but you have your phone or your tablet, there's an app. So go download the app, and they can do almost everything that you can do in the room when you're on a computer. But we'll see the different things that you can do and you can't do on the app as we're switching back and forth. So I'm going to open it. Okay, and if you have a phone, or if you're on a computer, or if you have a tablet or something, you want to hop into my room, go for it. Let me throw it up here. It is BYU-Idaho.AdobeConnect.com/BroKid if you want to hop into it. Okay, so I'm going to get in there. And this can be so you can play around with me inside of there if you want. Hate this thing, it always comes up. Okay, and I'm going to join using the app. So the students will need to know the URL of your room. And you saw that I made it pretty easy to remember. And we're going to talk about how to do that. It's not, dkid125j23. It's just ProKid. It's a lot easier to remember. And I'll show you kind of later on how to do that. Okay. So I'm going to get in there as a guest. Okay, now I can see that I've joined my own little meeting. It has a little mobile icon thing there, so you can tell that they're on mobile devices. That's a good thing to know, just so you can know the limitations of what they're doing when they're in there. But as you can see, I can click on the chat. I can chat through the app. Okay, came up right there. They can, if I'm sharing my screen, they can make it so all they see is what I'm sharing. They can get rid of all the other stuff. They can kind of go back here and see the all attendees. Ooh, Daniel's in here. Welcome, Dan. They can just do a chat type view. They can just do a view where they only see who's in there. They can start private chats with people if they need to. This is kind of cool. I can enable the mic on my phone so I can actually talk instead of just listening. So I can hit connect to my microphone. And then if I talk, la la la, la la la. Okay, so you can hear people through the app. But I'm gonna turn that off because that's annoying. Okay, they can raise their hands, they can agree, they can disagree, just like they can on the computer. So they can do a majority of the stuff if they were there on the actual computer. But there are a few things that they won't be able to do, which we'll show in a minute. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you is how to properly share a video in Adobe Connect. Sometimes what people will do is they'll go share my screen, and then as they're sharing their screen, they'll show a video. That doesn't work because the video is going to be choppy. The audio isn't going to come through like it should. It's just not a good way to do it, because basically what you have to do is, as the audio is coming out of your computer speakers, you then have to pick that up by your mic and then broadcast it through there. So it's lots of middleman that doesn't need to happen. So, and I apologize if YouTube brings up something inappropriate, because it does that every once in a while. So I'm gonna, this is probably the coolest short video you'll ever see. And if you've already seen this, you should be excited. Okay? Let's watch it again. I mean, it's 6 seconds. Okay, probably the coolest little guy ever. So for some weird reason, I want my students to see that, right? So I want to put this in my room so they can view it kind of through their own connection and not through mine. So there's this cool little trick you can do. Now, again, remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So what I'm about to do here gives me great power, but no, there are copyright laws, right? So you need to make sure that whatever you're stealing, whatever you're taking, whatever you're borrowing, you can't. And I don't know who made this video, but here we go. So if you put SS in front of YouTube, something magical happens, okay? So you take whatever video you're looking at and whatever video you want to download, and you type SS in front of it. And then when you hit enter, it takes you to this magical website that will allow you to download the video. Okay. Now maybe you want a video from somewhere else that isn't YouTube, KeepVid's a really good website too. It works with most of the video sites out there, where you just take the URL of the video, you throw it in this little thing right here, and then you should be able to download it. But again, great responsibility. Don't do this unless you know you can.
How do you know?
I don't know. That's one of those, like, if you're not sure, you can always contact the creator, right? But yeah, does anyone know of any magical way of knowing? I mean, usually if it's on YouTube, they're okay with their videos being public, but if it's like an NBC video or some, Fox News, something like that, that's probably copyright.
If you go down at the bottom, they'll usually have like information that you can check to find out if it's downloaded.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I've tried to upload a YouTube video, and it'll say, "Sorry, you can't do that." So,
Yeah, they have algorithms that can actually detect if you're using a copyrighted song. Like I've uploaded like
does it have a song?
like there's home videos where like, you know, as I was a kid and I'm dancing to some dumb song or something and it recognizes the song and it goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down here, cowboy. Yeah. So yeah, check the description of the video. They may say something in there, but you know, but chances are they're not watching what you do, and the FBI probably isn't going to come crashing through your window. Just, you know, just be as smart as you can with it.
Where did you put the SS?
Right before YouTube. So if this was the link right there, you just put SS right there, and then that takes you to savefrom.net. So you click here and it'll show you all the different versions. The higher the P number, the better. If it's 1080p, that means your epic Blu-ray resolution. 720 is pretty good. 360, you're gonna get pretty pixelated there, but it's okay. It's a prairie dog. He's awesome. So I'm gonna hit download. Brings it up. I'm just gonna download it to my desktop. Okay, so now it's actually on my computer, but I need it to be in my room. I want it to be in my room so I can easily share it with people that are in my room. So I'm going to go share document. It's kind of weird because we don't consider it a document, we consider it a video, but in this case, it's a document. So we're going to do share document, and I'm going to hit browse my computer, and then I just grab that video. So the beauty of this is now it's in my room. Instead of me trying to share it through my sharing of the screen, it's in my room. So this is what everyone's going to see. It's going to play through their computer or their computer speakers. It's going to play on their computer connection, their internet connection, and it's going to sound and look good. That's the point. And you can see it's working on the phone too. Right? So it's kind of cool. So when you're sharing videos, they can see it on the mobile device as well. Okay, so that's really kind of the best way. And the cool thing is, once you've uploaded it, the next time I go to share document, it's already there. So you don't have to upload it again. It's now stored in your room.
Upload stage one.
Yeah. So you're going to do share document, and then you just hit browse my computer. By the way, all the stuff that I'm showing you at the end here, you can write down these. I know these are kind of gross long URLs, but I've made video here that'll go through everything that we've talked about. So if you want to go back and review it, if you got 40 minutes of your life that you want to use, you'll be able to do this. I'll show this at the end here. So just be aware if I'm going too quick and you're like, yeah, slow down, you'll have a video that'll show you all this. Hi, Tanya. Welcome. Okay. So next thing is the whiteboard. If any of you teach math in here, this should make you a happy person. This allows you to draw. You can click on the little arrows down here on the side, and that will give you more options. So you got markers, highlighters, pens. You can draw. Okay, and as I'm drawing, it will show up on the mobile device too, which is cool. Okay, you can type text. This is great. Okay, you can change color, size, font. I've used a bunch of whiteboard programs. This isn't the best one out there, but it's okay. It gives you enough.
Can you show us how to do the color?
Yeah, so I would click here.
And can only the teacher write?
That's a good question. I'll show you. Yeah, you can. So you click right here and you say enable participants to draw. And then that's going to let everybody in the room. Be careful with this, because if you have crazy students that are like, woo, and they get a little nuts, they're going to be drawing all over the place, and it may get a little out of hand. But if you need people in the room to be able to draw, that's how you do it. But this is perfect for like one-on-one stuff, right? You're teaching a student, tutoring them one-on-one, and you're like, okay, this is how you do the math problem. Now you do it, and then you enable it and you let them do it.
Question.
Yeah.
I find it has enough of a delay that it makes my drawings look really like bad. And maybe it's just me, maybe I don't draw well, but when I'm trying to do something, I have to make sure to be really slow. Is there a way to make that delay lessen?
It's really kind of an internet connection thing.
So I have a really good internet.
Like if
connection.
well,
So
you
you're
got,
telling me I'm just a bad
so
drawer.
no, you got the internet connection, but then you also have Adobe servers and how quick they're going. Because even with the video thing, when you share a video, it could be really laggy and it's not their internet, it's the Adobe server. I mean, there's a couple things that it could be. But as you're drawing, that's, here, let me show you, like, so on the Connect here, or not the Connect, but the mobile device, like, as I'm drawing,
That seems pretty cool.
see, there was a little bit of delay. It's not going to show on their side you like drawing it. It's going to kind of show the aftermath of it. So, and this, you know, doesn't look that great just because I'm not using a very heavy thing here. But if I go to like highlighter, that's not even that good either. But this is where you change the color. Someone asked that. Be the same with text. You click on text. You click there. You're about to type. Choose the color you want to use. The size you want it to be, the font. Not a lot of fonts, but enough to be dangerous. Okay. Anyways, and then when you're done,
I just wanted to
Yeah.
show what does it look like after we change the color. Are you changing the background or are you changing the typing?
just the typing, just the color of the stroke.
Oh, so you can't change the background.
I don't think so. Not that I know. You may be able to like draw a square. Hiya.
Oh, so it's a fill. It's like a fill.
And then I could start doing stuff on that, I guess, if I wanted to. So I guess that's one way to do it. Kind of a cheap way, but it works. You could get rid of the border, so that would go away. Now you can go to different whiteboards. So if I'm like, you know what, I want to save that, but I want to start over, I can go to number 2, start doing stuff on there. And then if I want to reference one again, I can. So you can go back and forth as you're making more whiteboards. Now, because this is so epic and amazing and everyone would want this, I could click on here and do export snapshot, and I can save it as a PNG. So if you're doing something that's really important that you need to give them a copy of, you could export it as a PNG. PNG is just a file format for a picture. Or send a snapshot. That's kind of cool. So you can put in their email address and it'll email. I just learned something. Cool. Yeah, we're popular. Good stuff. Any questions so far?
I have one.
Yeah.
When you save the video, save it as an MP4. Does it have to be in an MP4 to play video?
That's what it does from YouTube. But it should accept like AVIs, FLVs, MOVs. There's a bunch of them. But when you use that thing that I showed you here, it's always going to give you an MP4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you don't need to worry about converting anything. Yep. Okay. So next one, if I Google Adobe Connect plugins, this is where you can get a little mischievous too if you want. You're going to go right here, the apps, online meeting applications, and extensions. I don't know if you want to write that down. It's kind of long, but adobe.com/product/Adobe Connect/apps.html. Whose phone? No, sorry. Just kidding. He's my manager, so I can. Okay, so Adobe Connect apps. This is where you can kind of extend the functionality of Adobe Connect. There's some of these are free, some of them cost money, but you can kind of go through here and get an idea of maybe something that you would want to use, like a word cloud. You can, like, I took Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech, threw it in here, and it made a word cloud, so you can see what words are used the most. You can do timers, YouTube stuff. The one I want to show you that I like is this location map. This one I know is free. So whenever you find one that you think you would use, you're going to click Learn More. Okay, and I'm going to go More Information. But the things you want to pay attention to are right here. If it's free and what it's compatible with. So if I come over here and I go to Help and I go to About Adobe Connect, we're using 9.5.3. So you want to take a look at that to make sure whatever plugin you get will be compatible, right? So this is compatible with 8 and 9, so we're good to go.
So it doesn't matter if there are numbers after the 9?
No. If it says it's compatible with Adobe 9, Adobe Connect 9, 9 point whatever. So the way you use all these plugins is basically the same. So I'm going to hit download. Okay, and I'm going to hit download. And I'm downloading the thing called a Swift file, shockwave format. That's kind of made in Adobe Flash. Don't really need to know that, but letting you know anyways. Hit download, and then I'm going to download that to my desktop. So I just downloaded this location map version blah 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 .swift. Okay, so that's the file you're always going to need is the Swift. Sometimes you'll download these and they're in a zip file, so you got all these files inside of one. You got to extract it. This one just gave us the Swift. It made it real easy. So I come back here. I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to do the little magic again. Share document. Okay. And the document we're going to share is that Swift file that we just got. So I'm going to browse my computer, grab the Swift, it uploads it, and then it'll start running it. This one's cool because it's a good icebreaker. It's a good, like, you know, we have students all over the world. I mean, I have a couple from, like, you know, I've had them in Europe and Africa. It's crazy. So if you're doing a webinar and you have a bunch of students in there, you guys can do this too if you're in here. Well, no, just kidding. This is one that doesn't work. Just kidding, guys. So if you're doing this and they're on a mobile device, it ain't gonna work. The mobile device isn't smart enough. Sorry, guys. So no, you can't do this unless you're on a computer. But that's good to know and be aware of. So what I would do is you'd be like, hi guys, welcome. I'm Brother Kid. I'm your instructor. Hey, and I'm from upstate New York. Boom, I'm right there. So you can click and drag where you're from. And so as people are in here, they start adding their markers, and then you got this little thing of where you're like, oh, okay. And then you learn stuff like, oh, wow, you're only like a couple hours from me, or hey, you live in Idaho. I'm from Idaho. I grew up there. You know, it's just a cool icebreaker to kind of get, oh, yes.
You can also use it. I use it as an icebreaker to ask them, where's the favorite place you've traveled?
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, that's awesome
as a
too.
follow-up,
Yeah.
You're not always asking the same thing, and you use the same tool for.
Yeah.
Or where do you want to travel?
Where's the furthest you've been from home? Or
Yeah.
maybe they serve missions. Where'd you serve your mission? You know, stuff like that. Yeah, great idea. So Daniel hopped on here, which is great. So he's from Almighty, Utah. Okay. So it's basically the same with any of these plugins. You download them, then you upload them, and you share them as a document, and you share those Swifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have to manually click on the icon and move it to their place?
Yeah, you click and drag.
Okay, so it doesn't just find them. or
No.
that.
No, it's not smart enough to do the geolocation and go, oh, you're here, boom. They got to manually do it. Cool. So yeah, I would recommend, you know, coming here and just taking a look at what they have, because there's a lot of good stuff here.
You have a question over here?
Yes.
I just, I downloaded a doorbell so that when I'm
Right.
doing office time and some
that's
people
good.
may or may not, I turn the doorbell on and I can hear it from the other room or whatever when somebody comes in.
If you have a dog that freaks out when the doorbell,
Yeah, they know.
careful of that. No, but that's an awesome use of that, because if you're off doing your own little thing and then you're ding dong, you're like, oh, student, and then you can go, yeah, thank you, that's great. Anyways, I know we use Kaltura, but that one costs money. So, but anyways, take a look at them. Maybe there's something there that would help you out.
Question.
So I've used the YouTube plugin, but so when you uploaded the video
Mhm.
as a document,
Mm-hmm.
when you hit play, it's playing it for everybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Okay, because when I used Player, that's what I thought was going to happen. That's not what happened. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the YouTube one, it may be set up where they control it on their own.
Yeah.
But I know when you upload this video, how I did it, and you hit play, it should play for everybody
Okay.
without them having to do anything.
Right.
So.
And you have to do that under a share pod?
Share pod, yep. Share document, yep. And again, just in case you missed it, it's just really cool because once you upload that video, it's always going to be there. So it's just easy. You go share document, boom, there it is. You hit OK and you're on your way. Okay, next one. Maybe some of you already know about this one, but you have this enable presenter only area in your meeting. Under the meeting menu, this is a good one because it gives you a little place to tinker around and no one can see it but you. So if I open up this, no one can see this area. So this is where you can prepare polls or notes, or maybe you're taking notes and you don't want people to see the notes that you're taking. This presenter only area is just a place where you can hang out, do what you need to do with different pods and such, and no one will be able to see it except for you. So that's kind of a good one to know. And again, that's under meeting and then presenter only area. Okay, the different pods, we'll just go through these pretty quick. But you got note pods. So if I do add new notes, this is just something where you type. Okay, you type notes. Maybe you're like, hey guys, give me some ideas about blah, 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 and then you start brainstorming. This would be the equivalent of writing it on the chalkboard or whatever. Okay, or maybe you want the presenter only area to have your notes because you want to know kind of a guideline of what you want to be talking about. Now the cool thing about these pods is once you make them, they're always there. So, maybe you want a little note for students when they get in there to say, hey, actually we're starting in a half hour. Sorry, we're going to be a little late. So you can have a note there saying that. And then once you hide it, it's still in that menu. It's still there. So again, you can reuse it.
How do you get rid of them?
Go to manage pods.
Manage.
And then that's where all your pods are. So I can go to that note one and be like, you know what, I'm never going to be late again. So I just hit delete.
Wow.
And then it goes away. Then when I go back in there, it shouldn't be there anymore. Okay, attendees is just that. Not a whole lot there. Camera employees, same thing. If you want to be on webcam, there you go. Chat, that's the chat pod. Nothing special there. Files are pretty good. This is where you can upload PDFs, Word documents, any type of file you want to share with students. It could be videos too. Maybe you don't want to stream the video during class. You want them to watch it after. So you could upload an MP4, upload some sort of video file for them so they can just click on it. So say I'm like, I want them to be able to download that awesome prairie dog video. So I upload it.
PowerPoint.
Yep. This basically accepts really any type of file type because it's not running it. It's not doing anything with it. It's just making it so they can download it. So the students would see that. They'd be able to click on it and do download file, and then they would get the file on their computer. And then if you want to change the title, you can just double click there, and then you can change that. So this is if you have really important files that you want students to be able to easily access. Okay, web links is similar. Come on. Maybe it doesn't want to do that. That's fine. You do add link. It's kind of weird they don't have that down here, but whatever. So add link. I can say like YouTube. So up here is what the link's going to say, and that's where it's going to go when you click on it. So I hit OK. It says YouTube, so then they can hit browse to, and it takes them, it opens it up in their browser. So again, maybe you have a bunch of websites that you think are amazing for the course and help them out. For me, I teach web programming, and so like there's the website W3 Schools. There's a lot of good online learning materials that they can use. So I would put that in there and be like, take a look at these after class or whatever. Okay, polls. Polls are fun. This is, you can use polls for whatever. Maybe, again, icebreaker. Maybe you want to get an idea of what they think. You know, how was that assignment? Whatever. You can pick what you want them to do. Multiple choice, multiple answers, short answer. Short answer is just going to be they can type in whatever they want. Multiple answers, type in the question, your answers per line. How'd you do on the test? And then these are the choices they would have. Horrible, amazing, whatever. Okay, hit open. And then people that are in the room right now, you guys should be able to do this. Even on the mobile devices, you should be able to start, answering that. Now, only I can see the results right now. So I can hit broadcast results, and then that's going to show it to everyone. So maybe it's a poll that only you want to know the answers. Well, don't check that. But if you want students to be able to see what everybody's answering, then you can broadcast the results. You can hit view votes, so you can see, oh, Tanya did horrible. Tanya did whatever. Emily Kuhn did amazing. Good job, Emily, you're amazing. And then when you're done, and poll. Okay. So great way to get participation, get feedback from students. You can be anonymous, so they're not feeling like they're putting themselves out there, which is really important nowadays. People don't like to feel dumb, so just keep it anonymous. It's always a good thing to be able to do there.
And Dave, obviously, all these things, we have a lot of TGLs in here as well, groups with your instructors. You may think your class doesn't have the chance to have all your students in a live setting, but as a TGL, you use all these things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For sure. Thank you. All right, so then I can hide that, and again, it's right there. So it just saves it. So if you ever want to reuse it, you can. Okay. We already talked about manage pods. So if you want to get rid of them, you can. Layouts is kind of a fun one. So if you come over here, you got your different layouts. So you can click on it, and it'll just automatically put pods where you want them. So for you guys, maybe you have a layout that you use for students. Maybe you have a layout that you use for when you're talking with the instructors. This is where you can set up the different layouts that you want. So you can come over here to layouts and create new layout. You can duplicate an existing one, so I can use any of these, just kind of start from there. Or I can nah, I just want to start from scratch. I'm going to call this, use this for whatever. So I hit OK, everything goes away. Now I just start building it. Well, I want to make sure that I have an attendees. I want to make sure that I have a chat. Okay, and then you can start moving it around, doing whatever you want to do. And then you can see over here, as I'm playing around with this, it kind of updates it so I know which layout I'm using and which layout I'm building.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Can you show us this one with webcam? It's long, so you should put a lot of people in it.
Mm-hmm. That would make
How many
it so,
people can fit in it?
I think it's a lot. I think Adobe Connect supports a ton.
But unless you
But-
have a really good internet connection,
Yeah.
if you get more than 4 cameras going, it's going to slow your pacing down.
Video takes up a lot of bandwidth. So it's one of those, the technology supports a lot, but does your internet? Who knows?
What happens if you get more, they can't hear you anymore, or?
It just gets laggy. Usually instead of it being kind of a smooth motion with the video, it starts getting choppy. So, yeah.
One of the things I've found as a TGL and also as an instructor, I will go in and bring up the camera, get a picture of myself and put it onto the video, and then if I need it, I can turn it on. But I rarely ever do. I put it on pause and stop it, and I don't let anybody else put theirs up unless I need them to, like if they're presenting or something. Because of that lag on there, once I pause it, it doesn't seem to take any more bandwidth away. But the students can still, or the instructors can still see me during the time it's paused without the little paused icon on my face on their side.
Yeah.
Let me see if I understand. You let all of the students, or your instructors, and then you pause everybody except the ones talking?
I pause myself, and then I will let others, if they're presenting, I'll allow their video to be up there. Because not only does it take bandwidth on your side of your bandwidth. You may have, as a sister here, with a fantastic internet connection, but if you're doing this for students that and you're using this and you're sending it to Gonda, for example, where they've got a dial-up, their connection will be worthless. I mean, it's already going to be pretty well choppy as it is, but it'll be even worse if you have video involved. So depend on where they're going, because it's an inclusive connection, not only yours and Adobe's and anywhere in between. It's also who's on the receiving end, how choppy and how good their connection is. So you have to be kind of aware of your students and what they can receive or not receive, as far as that goes.
Great, thanks.
You guys on mobile devices, is that giving you the option to
Make
To
it
get on
bigger,
my
make
cam?
it small.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
because is it?
Dave, look, when I hit.
That shows me,
Yeah,
but can it
can't
show
get on
you?
ourselves.
Is that because
Oh,
we're
no.
participants and not presenters?
Yeah, because we're not presenters.
Yeah.
Why don't you make one of us presenters?
But you can just enable them, yeah, right there.
Yeah, if you don't know this one, this is a good one too. You left click, you can make them host, presenters, whatever.
Or enable their video without making them a presenter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at
You
you
don't have to
guys.
give up any control.
You guys should be teaching this. Okay, somebody hop on with me because it'll be fun. If you can.
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, Daniel.
I'm trying to get on.
Okay, so but yeah, the pausing's always good. It's also if you have to go to the bathroom or something, pause it so they think you're still there. That's a good one. Yes. Please mute it. Yes. That's awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so next one, recording. I'm pretty sure most of you know how to do this, but I want to show you some cool stuff you can do with your recordings. So you'll hit record meeting. This is like maybe you're with a student, maybe with your group, whatever. I think a lot of you guys record these meetings, so you send them out to people that weren't able to attend. So you're going to name your meeting, give a summary if you want. Okay, you hit OK, and it starts going. You really want to make sure your audio is working before. It's usually a good idea to do like a 5-second recording just to test it. Make sure the audio is getting recorded on the video. If not, you're going to have a 30-minute video with no audio, and you just killed it. So, okay, so I'm done. So to get to that, there's a quick way. You can go meeting, manage meeting information. This will take you quickly to your control panel. Okay, so manage meeting information. That's going to open up in the browser. It'll automatically log you in, which is nice. Or if you want to go the long way, you can just BYU-IDabeConnect.com. Okay. So once you're there, if we kind of start from the beginning, I can go into my room, go to recordings. Okay, that's the one I just made. Now, I don't like this about Adobe Connect, but it's better than nothing. I can click on Name Your Meeting, and I go into it, and I can go over here to Action, and I can say Make Offline. And what this does is makes an offline copy, but it's not as simple as just downloading it. I wish it was. I don't know why it's not. But you hit Make Offline, and it's very vaguely named too, Make Offline. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. Not very intuitive. So if I can't really introduce that. All right. So it's saying, hey, playing back your recording will allow you to save it to your local machine. In other words, I'm going to make a local copy of this. This is like something you would do if maybe you wanted to host this on YouTube or Kaltura. I don't know. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. But you hit next, okay, and then you pick. You usually want to go with the MP4 because it's a lot more of a universal format than an FLV would be. Even though YouTube still accepts them and everything, but MP4s are kind of becoming the standard video file format. You can go to advanced options. You can change all this stuff if you want, but 720 is a good resolution. And then you just proceed with offline recording, name it, and then it'll save it onto your computer. But the problem is it doesn't just download it and save it. It actually plays it back. If you remember back in the days of tapes, right? You wanted to make a recording of a CD, you'd have to play the whole CD and record it with the tape. Same thing here. So it's just kind of crazy. So if it's a 40-minute video, it's going to take you 40 minutes to make your offline copy. You just have to leave the computer and it'll do its thing. So once it's done, it'll say, hey, we're good. All right, and then I can head over to my desktop and there it is.
So on a regular video, if you get a student the link, you have to make it public. Do you still have to do that if you do it offline?
No. No, because the offline, but again, this is offline, so it's not hosted anywhere. You'd have to go put it on Kaltura or put it on YouTube to be able to give it to them. But I'm glad you brought that up because we do need to talk about that. Just because, so I got my recordings here. I always do this. I'll make a recording, I send it out, and then I get all these emails. I can't watch it. So make sure you always check your access type. Public. This is new. Or at least I've never seen this. You can set the passcode, so you can make it semi-public. Send out an email, hey students, here's the video, here's the password, get into it. Just so they can't just send it to whoever. So it makes it semi-public, semi-private. Oh yes, they could. Yeah. So there's really like no way to really stop that, but I think if my friend sent me like a humanities video, I'd be like, I'm not watching that. So like thanks, but no thanks. It's your class, dude. So anyways. I guess I'll show you this one. This one is kind of, it's a little weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh no, no. What the heck? Yeah, how embarrassing. So let me log in again. So I'll go to meetings. So this is, take it for what it's worth. I can take this. This is kind of a hack. If you like to hack things, it's kind of fun. So I'm going to take this URL. I'm going to throw it in there. And if you add output / file name .zip, I had to write it down. It's not too long, but it's not too short. Download equals zip. This will allow you to download it as well. Okay, so you add this to the end of the URL of the video. What this does is it allows you to download the video as a zip, but the problem is the video has to be in like this perfect format for it to work. So let me show you what it does. So if I hit enter, it actually prompts me to download it. So I don't have to do the make offline thing. But the problem is, it's just, well, I'll show you what the problem is. So it gives you all these files. It gives you FLVs and XML files and all of this. I'm going to export that to a new folder.
You're losing me.
It's okay. It's in the video. And like I said, this isn't always the perfect thing in the world to do. But once I extract it, you kind of look for the biggest FLV, the biggest file size FLV, and hopefully the video will be in there, but it may not be. So really, if you want the surefire way, but the longer way, just do the make offline. But that is kind of a weird hack way. That did work with a couple videos that I had. It allows you to download it as a zip, extract it, and then go. Okay, only a couple more things. So I like people when they come into my room to feel calm and peaceful, right? So when they get into my room, I want it to be named something like, don't be afraid, we're gonna have a fun time. So I call it Brother Kid's Tranquil Abode. To be able to switch that name, call it whatever you want, you can take an existing room, click it, go to edit information, and then change it there. Just so it's not some random generated name. It's just a lot more personal, right? Now, if you want your own personal URL, like I have adobeconnect.com/brokid, that you can't really take an existing room and do that. You're just going to have to make a new meeting. So you hit new meeting, then you can put it in there what you want. So sister, whoever. Maybe CIT 160, that's of course I teach. Whatever you want to have there. And then you put in the name there of what you want. Down here is pretty important when you decide on who can come into your room. It can be only registered users, so only people who have Adobe Connect accounts with BYU-Idaho, or it can be only registered users and accepted guests. In other words, you'll be hanging out in the room and it'll say so-and-so is trying to join. Well, you let them, and then you let them in. Or do what I do. I don't care. Just whoever hops in, that's fine. Because I don't think I'm going to get some guy from Africa. Who knows? But I just say anyone. And so they just hop in and then enjoy it. If you have an existing room, you can play around with that as well. Okay, last thing. Go to edit information. That's where you can play around with the access as well. Okay, then we got reports. When you click on reports, you can check it out by attendees. So I got all the people that joined today, the time they joined, the time they left, their email, if they put it in, or if they're logged in and it recognizes their email. So you can get an idea. You're like, oh, I met with this person. When was it? I can't remember. You just hop into the reports and it'll tell you. So that's by attendees. You can go to by sessions. So I've had a total of 36 sessions, however many people were in each session. Okay, by questions, I guess that's poll stuff. So if you want reports on the polls that you've done. Maybe you're like, oh, I did that poll and I got to remember what they said on it. Okay, it'll tell you that. You can also go up to reports up here, which is another section. And you can go to the meetings. I haven't played around with this very much. I'm not much of a report guy. I'm not much of a data guy. But if you are, you'll love this stuff. But you just kind of pick your room and you want to generate a report for that. You can I can just do for everything I've ever done for this room, or maybe I want to report for just the last week, whatever. And then you just hit create report. And then it tells you the total users or unique people. It gives you a bunch of information that you may or may not care about. Okay, it tells who joined, if they were on mobile or not, when their first session was, their most recent. So if you ever need information about a user and when you taught them and when you were with them, it's all there. Okay, sorry I didn't get into anything else. If you came here for Google Hangouts, I apologize. But I did make a video about it. Skype, I just think there's a lot better things out there than Skype, so I didn't really do much with that. Sorry. But if you want, if you're like, okay, brother kid, you went way too fast, you punked, there you go. You can watch these videos. This covered everything that we covered here. I'm sorry, sorry for the crazy links. I probably should have short linked them, but I thought that was short enough. If you want to talk to me later, there's my email. Also, I do want to show you this. You can book time with me if you want, and I can take you through whatever one by one. Yeah, that's a good idea, you people out there taking pictures. Yeah, technology. The day we live in, man. It's amazing. That our phones, what, have more processing power than the shuttle that took them to the moon? That's pretty incredible to me. So if you want to book time with me, I'll put this up in a minute, so don't freak out here. So
don't freak out.
Remember, I said don't. No. So you can go to brokid.youcanbook.me. If you want to use this for your students too, it's pretty cool. It's this cool little thing that you can use to book time with me. I get an email, you'll get an email, it goes on my calendar, and we can do a one-on-one help session or something if you want. I use this for students too. It's great. There's videos on the forums if you search for them that'll show you how to do this, or email me and I'll give you the link. Here you go. Now you don't need to freak out again. But yeah, that's it. It's 10:45. We're done. So
we just slide it from the we don't know how this one's
Well, thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Appreciate it.